Hey everyone, it's Nathan. Today is actually Kathy's video that we want our director of family ministry to tell you about some of the stuff that's going on. But I wanted to tell you all a little about the gift card scam. If you're a visitor and you're not a member and didn't get this, just skip till you see Kathy. Although it's good information to have. So here's what we know. Everything's fine, first of all, except a lot of people are irritated. On Friday or Saturday, someone created a fake email address pretending to be the president of the church. They then, they looked on our website and saw the president's name, made an email address that said like adam.president.uu@gmail.com, or I don't know what it is, but changed the display name to be his name, and then emailed every name he could find on the website and said, hey, I can't get into the members area, or I forgot the password. Could you please send me the password? And a trusting church member sent him the password. And so then on the members area, there is a PDF of the church directory. We have since taken it down. It's not going to go back up. But anyway, so this person got onto the directory. From the member section. As soon as we found out that someone had given the password, we changed the password, took the directory down. But it's too late. So then what he does, and from what I've read, there are actually sort of entire industries overseas that do this. So they hire people specifically to be these scammers. And they get held accountable if they don't scam enough money, actually. But so what they did is then they used to always send an email. And what they would do is create an email as me or as Reverend Chris or as any of the people that they could find on the website who works there. But their email would be something like nathan.uu.ryan@gmail or something that would look like my email address. And then they would change the display name to be me and email you, and they would always email and say, hey, this is Nathan. I'm going into a meeting, so I can't talk. Do not call or text me. And then hope you would respond back, and then they would say, hey, I'm so glad you heard from me. We're looking to buy gift cards for, sometimes it's like Iraqi war refugees, sometimes it's women with cancer, it's something. Anyway, this time what the guy did, this person did was create a bunch of fake phone numbers, which you can do through like Google Voice or, some technology. And he started texting people in batches of about 10. I know this because starting around 9:30 on Monday, I got about 20 or 30 calls or text or email saying, hey, was this you? And they happened throughout the day in these chunks. So I think I got about 75 to 100 pieces of correspondence from the church. Anyway, so then he will say, hey, this is so-and-so. I need a gift card. If you buy the gift card, he'll tell you the church will reimburse you. And then he'll ask you to scratch off the back and tell you the number. So we just want you to know how it happened. Our plan is to never put the directory up, even behind password protected stuff ever again. I do, as your senior minister, apologize to you who've had this inconvenience, and I hope he did not get any money from any of you. He has in the past over the years. They've designed this scam specifically to get you invested. And they don't just target Unitarian churches, they target other churches and nonprofits, and anywhere that they can find a way to get people to trust an email address and give some money. Anyway, that's my senior minister update. Now I'm going to pass it off to Kathy. I don't know where she is. Kathy, you're up.
Thank you, Nathan. I'm excited this week to be able to tell you about our upcoming classes for OWL, OWL is Our Whole Lives. It is the acclaimed sexuality education program that is co-written and managed by the Unitarian Universalist Association and the United Church of Christ, which is a liberal progressive Christian church, not to be confused with the Church of Christ, which is neither theologically liberal nor socially progressive. We are partnered, the UUA and the UCC, in this program that has been running for several decades now. We run it at age-appropriate levels at several points in a child and teenager's life. In this church, we run it at kindergarten, first grade, which will be starting for us in January. Kindergarten, first grade OWL is what I call Baby OWL. It's very basic information about bodies, what we name our body parts, gender, body boundaries, families, and babies, all told in a way that a 5 or 6 year old child is eager to learn and ready to assimilate that information. We teach it again in 4th and 5th grade. This year, our 4th and 5th grade class will have an information session on September the 15th, and then class will start with a mandatory parent-child orientation on September 22nd and run through December 22nd. And 4th, 5th grade OWL is Puberty OWL. It talks about body image, gender identity, peer pressure, healthy relationships, pop culture and how that affects us, puberty and reproduction and how to stay healthy. Like all OWL classes, it incorporates information at an age-appropriate level about consent, bodily autonomy, and decision-making. We teach it again in this church in 7th and 8th grade. 7th, 8th grade OWL this year will start on September the 8th with a parent information session and an orientation session, mandatory child parent orientation on September the 22nd. And 7th, 8th grade OWL, sometimes we refer to it as everything you always wanted to know about sex but didn't want to ask your parents. It covers everything from physiology and the language of sexuality, body image and popular culture and peer pressure, gender and sexual orientation, reproductive health, STIs, contraception, sexual decision making, how you know when you're ready for what kind of sexual activity, conversations about how to ask a friend to do something with you, what constitutes a healthy, safe relationship. It's useful to know. People often ask that one of the things that we encourage in 7th, 8th grade OWL is that we are giving people the information with which they can make healthy, safe decisions for themselves. With the one of the program emphases is that it is healthier for a young teenager to postpone intercourse, but that we need to know what's happening in order to know what we are consenting to or choosing to abstain from. That was very detailed, but I'm going to leave it in because people often ask that question. All OWL programs, OWL also continues on with several programs that we are not yet able to offer at this time for older teenagers, young adults, adults and older adults. Hopefully we will be able to add those in coming years. All of OWL programming is written with the idea that parents and guardians are the primary sexuality educators for their children and teenagers, that we are supporting parents and providing information for their children so that all of the family can raise healthy, safe children and teenagers. The information is as scientifically accurate as we can make it. It's developmentally appropriate. It's useful to know that it's written to the standards of the Sexuality Information and Education Council of the United States, meaning it meets all educational standards. And one of the powerful things about OWL is that we teach it as interactive, engaging, emotional learning, so that it isn't just dry information presented as a lecture, but it is activities and groups done in a positive peer group. Oftentimes this is one of the places that a child or a teenager finds a group of peers that they can be comfortable with exploring questions that they have, but they wouldn't necessarily feel safe or comfortable doing so in just any group. The values that OWL is based on are self-worth, sexual health, responsibility, and justice and inclusivity, meaning that we value diversity and we value inclusivity of people of all genders and all orientations and all cultural backgrounds. One of the questions people sometimes ask is, do you have to be a member of the church in order to participate in OWL? You do not. We welcome members of the community, and members of the community have to attend the mandatory parent orientation so that they know what values we are teaching and what information we are sharing with their children. The information itself is secularly based, it's scientifically based, and because we are teaching it in a Unitarian Universalist church, it will be presented through the lens of our emphasis on social justice and our emphasis on respect for the inherent worth of every human being and an understanding of the interdependence that we have upon each other. I think that's really about it. So just a couple of dates so you have them in your mind. We are doing the parent information session for 7th, 8th grade OWL during middle hour on September the 8th. You can come with your questions. You can, if you have a friend who's interested, please feel free to bring them to that information session. Then we will do the mandatory orientation for that class on September the 15th. And then class itself for the teens will run from September the 22nd through mid-April. 4th, 5th grade OWL, we will run a parent information session during middle hour on September the 15th. Again, no obligation. Bring yourself, your questions, your friends, their questions, and then we will do, that is during middle hour from 10:15 to 11:15 on September the 15th. And then on September the 22nd, we will start 5th grade OWL class with a mandatory parent-child orientation. Class will then run for the 4th and 5th graders through the 22nd of December. Class for 7th, 8th grade OWL runs from 1 to 2:30 on Sunday afternoons, with a couple of sessions running a little bit longer and a couple of overnight opportunities. 4th, 5th grade OWL will run from 1 to 2 on Sunday afternoons. No overnights yet, sorry guys. And then kindergarten first OWL will do an information session in mid-January, and then class will run from the end of January through the end of April. So if you are interested, please feel free to give me a call or drop me a text or send me an email. Reminder that our email addresses have changed, so my email is now education@unitarianbr.org. Look forward to hearing from you. Look forward to having your child and your teenager enrolled in OWL this year. So grateful that this church supports this program and has for many years. I consider it to be one of the most important, life-changing, life-affirming programs that the Unitarian Universalists offer, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. Thank you.